Hey everyone, it's Lexi. So in today's video, I'll be doing the Fall Cozy Time book tag. So for fall where we live, it is mostly a wet type of season. Even though the leaves in our area are beautiful, it's mostly kind of very wet. But nevertheless, fall is a good kind of transition between summer and winter, especially because it gets super cold in winter time here. So it's good to have like somewhat a little bit cool weather where it's not too cold, where you can just go out with like a little sweater and be okay. So our fall is very short where we live, so we don't get to enjoy it for very long, but nevertheless it's still one of my favorite seasons because I am not a big fan of the heat. So anything that is cold, like, I'm totally there for it. So here is the tag. I'll link the original creator of this tag down below, and if you guys do this tag, let me know. I'd love to watch it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started. For this one, it was super easy, and it is The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. I feel like even though this takes place in Alaska, I feel like this cover just screams fall with, you know, the dark forest and this kind of orange, you know, setting sun type over the water is just beautiful. I think it's totally fall, like even just like how it goes all the way around is just beautiful, and I think this totally encaptures fall. And I also love the kind of foil detailing of silver, gold, blue, and bronze kind of here as well. And I think it's just a total, like a beautiful cover that totally just screams fall. This would have to be the Inspector Gamache series by Louise, and this is the third book in this series. And even though murders take place in this town of Three Pines, there's something just totally cozy about how the author describes this town. It's this quaint Quebec town that's small. It has a rustic feeling to it, and it kind of reminds me of Stars Hollow, but I just picture it as like stone houses, you know, roaring fires in the family room, and you just feel very cozy. Like the town and how it's described, it feels like a warm blanket. And even though there's like these murders going on, like it still has that warm, cozy, feels like home type of feeling to it. So I know she based this off of like some quaint Quebec towns that I definitely want to visit, and they just have so much history, and just the architecture is so interesting. So definitely once quarantine's over, I do want to explore more of my home country and, you know, go like visit Montreal and Quebec City and all those places, because the architecture is just amazing, and especially in like the quaint countryside towns as well. So I just love the town in here. It's basically like a Stars Hollow, like I said. So yeah. Definitely historical fiction. I find that I do get into more historical fiction in the fall and winter months. I think it's just something where it's just dark outside. It gets darker a lot quicker, so it's just like nice to curl up and just read a historical fiction, because I feel like because it's based off of real things, it has that really dark thematic aspect to it. And I feel like if it's raining out in fall, especially around here, it's just a good one to read in front of the fire. Definitely Fallon from the Chronicles 1 trilogy by Nora Roberts. She's not necessarily introduced until the second book, but she is such a probably one of my favorite characters of this trilogy, and I just love her power aspects. It's very kind of in tuned with nature and animals and all that. It's more, I want to say it's more kind of rooted in like kind of traditional witchcraft almost, and she's just a rambunctious character, although I wouldn't like her responsibility of kind of being the one to kind of, you know, be in charge of everything in the world, and you know, the weight of the world is on your shoulders. Besides that, I think her magic is very interesting. She can kind of go back in time and revisit things. Like, she's very in tune with the light and dark aspects of the world, and I think it would just be really fun to kind of have those powers and go through the training that she does, which is the main focus of the second one, which I think would be a lot of fun despite having the weight of the world on your shoulders. This is a book that I finished actually not too long ago, and it is Long Bright River by Liz Moore, and this was the first book of the month book pick that I got when my sister gave me like a 6 months credits for my birthday, and I've just been putting off reading this book, and I'm very disappointed in myself that I waited so long to read this, because it's honestly amazing. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be that exciting of a book, but I was just totally drawn into it basically from the first chapter. But it tells the story of two sisters who grew up, and one sister becomes a heroin addict and the other one becomes a police officer. And when the series of murders are taking place, the one sister who is a cop tries to find her sister who's missing, and so while this is going on, you also get flashbacks of their childhood. I thought this book was just incredibly well done. It was super suspenseful and intense. It does raise a lot of important, you know, discussions about abuse of police power, drug addiction, all those things, and I feel like this book needs to be talked about more. I haven't heard a lot of people talk about this, and it was honestly amazing, and I wasn't really expecting much from it, but it blew me away. This one's kind of cheating because I don't technically own it right now. It's coming out in February, and I think we all can agree that this cover is horrendous, and it is A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. Me and my friend were talking about this book because, like, I feel like especially with the Court of Thorns and Roses trilogies, the covers are very iconic and beautiful, and then they did this horrendous cover change, and it looks like, you know, horrendous, and it's not going to look nice with the original trilogy next to this one. Yeah, I think the whole book community can decide that this cover change is just horrible, and it's definitely going to stick out like a sore thumb next to the beautiful spines of the original ACOTAR trilogy. Tea. This is a drink that I honestly drink all year round. Usually in the summers I go for like iced tea versions of my tea, but I feel like fall is where I really start getting into the hot teas again. So I also did a video on, like, if you like this type of tea, you'll like this book type of thing, so I'll link that up in the cards if you want to go and check that out, where I talk about some of my favorite teas as well. But yeah, I'm a tea person. I don't like coffee, like I don't like the taste of coffee, like mocha, any of those things, so tea is my go-to. But in terms of alcoholic fall drinks, a good mixture is apple cider and salted caramel vodka. It is so good. It doesn't taste like alcohol, so it can be very dangerous, but it is still very good in my opinion. That's like my fall, like, kind of mixed drink that I do besides tea, you know. So that's what I have specifically in the fall time. So that's it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below if you're gonna do this video, or you can write your comments out, your responses to the questions down below. I'd love to see those. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys.